My name is Betty Jo Hawkins Emery. I know that's long. This house was built in 1925. My family has lived in the house for over 50 years. We moved here when I was 12 years old. It was my mom, my dad, and 9 children. My mom and my dad were the first in their family to move out of what they called the poverty level. We went to school here, our churches was here, the neighborhood, everything that we needed used to be in this neighborhood. The house was always filled with children, and this house was kind of the cornerstone in the neighborhood. When I was 5 years old, my mom asked me, what did I want to do when I grow up? And I said, first thing I wanted to do was be a nurse. The second thing I wanted to do was be in the Army. And the third thing I wanted to do was be a bachelorette. So my whole focus in life was probably on being in the military and being a nurse. I joined the military in 1973. I was in the Oklahoma National Guard. I stayed in for approximately 17 years, got out when I had a accident. When I came home, I went to school on my own and got a licensed practical nursing degree. After which I worked in a lot of hospitals, but my fondest memory was working as an alternative school as a school nurse. I did that for a long, long time working with children, and I think that's where I kind of developed my passion for children. Spent 38 years being a nurse, got married, not until I was in my 40s, which I always said that I wanted to be a bachelorette, remember? My husband and I were married for 16 years, after which he passed away, and when he passed away, that's when I started having the financial problems and not being able to keep on my house. I remember I had just adopted Brandon. I have a special needs child. His name is Brandon. He was born with Down syndrome. It was in the middle of the winter, and I turned the heater on, but I smelled gas. The pipes had been there since 1925, so the pipes were so corroded that the gas was seeping through the pores of the pipes. The pipes had to be capped off, so that meant we didn't have any heat in the house. We had electric stove, and Brandon and I stayed in the bedroom with the electric stove during the heat. Living in this house could have been probably living here for the next 2 or 3 years without the house falling in on me. And one of the people that I knew referred me to Rebuild Together. Jean from Rebuild Together came out and talked to me about my home. She wanted to know about the history of my home. She wanted to know how I felt about my home and what they could do for me. She talked to me about the importance of my home to me. The people that came out to help me with my home were from Tinker. They called Tinker's Transformers. Before they got through, it was like a new roof on the house, and they painted my whole house. At one of my bedroom floors, the termites had gotten to it so bad you could actually see the lining of the carpet under the house. We just didn't even go back there. It was just too dangerous. Now that room is going to be used for a teenager that I'm adopting from the DHS system. You know, he's going to come and live and have a family too. My husband and I never could have children, of course, but it was important to us to have a family. We were foster parents for 7 years, and we always took families in. So Rebuilding Together has not only gave me a new life, but he's given my family a new life. And that's important to me because the house has always had children in it. Volunteers and all the donors and everything, you guys don't know how important you are in us staying in our house, because, you know, one day when you get old, you think about, am I going to be able to one day live in my house and go to sleep and just go to heaven, you know. We don't want to be in the hospitals, and we don't want to be in the nursing homes and the senior citizens place. We want to live in our homes. Rebuilding Together has rebuilt my life and my home, and it's rebuilt my children's home. So Rebuilding Together not only rebuilds homes, but they rebuild lives.